concept of cyber threat and cybersecurity, and our particular interests looking at this from the perspective of people. The issue around cyber and digital security are vast, but a strong recurring issue is around the language used, not only between agencies but with the general public. In particular, the popular phrases of cyber warfare, cyber terrorism and cyber attacks, alongside hacking and digital security. What we aim to do today is look at the definitions of the words that describe the different types of cyber threat, namely the difference between cyber warfare, cyber terrorism. A hack of any magnitude is deemed a cyber attack, as it is an attempt by hackers to damage or destroy a computer's network or system. However, an attack may be perceived differently between each nation-state. We believe that it is important to understand the concept of cyber threat and cybersecurity, especially the difference between normal warfare and terrorism and cyber warfare and cyber terrorism. The difference is that cyber warfare and cyber terrorism is enabled through connected technology. It is an act that is cyber-enabled. Cyber relates to the characteristics of the culture of computers, information technology and virtual reality. The definition of cyber warfare is the use of computer technology to disrupt the activities of a state or organisation, especially the deliberate attacking of information systems for strategic or military purposes. The Congressional Research Service defines cyber warfare as state-on-state action equivalent to an armed attack or use of force in cyberspace that may trigger a military response with a proportional kinetic use of force. However, cyber warfare are cyber attacks within the state of war. Like war crimes, they are cyber attacks that are committed during war. An example of cyber warfare is the Jasmine Revolution in January 2011. Tunisia's Jasmine Revolution, which resulted in the overthrow of a corrupt government, included violent protests and the hacking of usernames and passwords for the entire population of Tunisia by the AMMAR. The assumed definition of cyber terrorism is the politically motivated use of computers and information technology to cause severe disruption or widespread fear. The Congressional Research Service claims cyber terrorism to be the premeditated use of disruptive activities or the threat thereof against computers and/or networks with the intention to cause harm or further social, ideological, religious, political or similar objectives, or to intimidate any persons in furtherance of such objectives. There is no legal definition for cyber terrorism. Similarly, there is no universal agreement on the definition of terrorism itself. However, it is linked to those who use violent acts to achieve a political goal. The first man charged by the US with cyber terrorism was Ardit Frizzi in 2015, a man who stole data belonging to the US service members and passed it on to members of ISIS with the intent of supporting them in arranging attacks against Western targets. Another example is of David Jensen, a man who was arrested by the FBI for cyber terrorism after sending a malicious email attachment that reprogrammed MSN TV users' set-top boxes to dial 911 emergency response. The term cyber terrorism is controversial. A cyber attack is recognised as an operation of cyber terrorism when threat actors deliberately launch a cyber assault on a large scale with the intent to cause disruption. The act doesn't have to be linked to a terror organisation to be deemed an act of cyber terror. If the act compromises the critical infrastructure of a country, it can be deemed as an act of cyber terror, e.g. a cyber attack on blue light services. Additionally, there is evidence to suggest that the increase in the use of social media is contributed to the increase in cyber attacks. Social media sites, including Facebook and Twitter, are fertile grounds for breeding cyber criminals. The security and defence strategies aimed at protecting social networks are weak, which has enabled cyber criminals to shift from simple scams including phishing, spoofing, worms and viruses to more sophisticated attacks which shut down network servers and cloud-based systems, affecting companies and individuals. Here at K-Sharp, we believe that there is a lot of value in conducting research into not only the technical approaches to cyber attacks and the countering of them, but there also needs to be more fundamental research into the human-related aspects of motivation, risk and capability, especially with more and more of our activities being focused online. For our part, we are planning to conduct a new research project around cyber threat and integrated technologies, considering the effects of a cyber attack in relation to IoT, smart cities and wearable technology. This project will be named Soteria after the Greek goddess or personified spirit of safety and deliverance from the preservation of harm.